putting your country and all of its citizens before yourself. It means taking a stand alongside your brothers and sisters in uniform to protect our freedoms. By putting on that uniform, you're stepping into a legacy that's built by those that have gone before you. And you're part of a brotherhood of men and women who have chosen to rise up in these critical times. You made more than just a decision to serve. You made a decision to protect, to defend, to stand up for what's right, and to help make our world a better place. You made a decision to live every day of your life with honor, courage, and integrity. What the world needs now is hope for a better tomorrow. It needs leadership in times of uncertainty. It needs strength to believe that we can overcome anything if we do it together. What the world needs is you. Thank you for answering the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please take your seats, we're going to go ahead and get the evening's events started. Start making your way to your seats. If anybody needs a special accommodation, please just wave to these wonderful people with the white shirts and the black ties, and I'm sure they could help you with anything you might need. Looks like everybody's seated. So let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, special guest, our guest watching from home on the live stream, our donors, education partners, the sound room staff, the servers, heck, Chef Bob in the back. It's my honor to introduce to you our very special guest for the evening, the Midland, South Carolina Armed Forces Enlistees, their moms, their dads, their guardians, their family members. Please stand and join me in being the first of the community to salute these brave men and women. Give it up for all the enlistees. You enlistees, stay seated. We're celebrating you. Come on, let's give it up for them. This is how we're starting the night. We are celebrating you, your moms, your dads, your partners. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Enlistees, moms, dads, guardians, friends, families, you watching at home, this is your evening. This is our pleasure to be able to hang out with you, and this is our way of this community to show you our appreciation. To the Armed Forces Enlistees and their families, their community sponsors, I want to be able to introduce to you how large this new community of yours actually is. So if you take a look at the slides that are getting ready to come about you, I just want to introduce you to the sponsors who were able to make this evening possible, starting with Aiken County Farm Supply. Pace and Barbara Neese are in the audience. I'm glad you're here today. Vetchel Engineering Company, Alan Dobson and Brandon Witt are with us this evening. Centera, Jerry and Joan Steverson. Jerry is a U.S. Army veteran. Dominion Energy, Clayton Quattlebaum, a U.S. Marine. I'm glad you're here with us tonight, sir. Howell Printing, Janie Montgomery and Associates, LLC, Mr. Jim Foley, a Navy veteran, is with us tonight with his beautiful bride. Long Necker and Associates, David and Shelley Wilson are with us tonight. Savannah River Nuclear Solutions, Mark and Bay Davis, Savannah River Remediation, George and Lisa Mattis. George is a U.S. Army veteran. Security Federal Bank, Chris Verniz is here with us tonight. Chris, I'm glad you are here. And from the University of South Carolina, Aiken, Dr. Darren Timmons, the University Provost. And not only are those company sponsors, take a look at the individual sponsors that allowed this evening to take place. Pat and Teresa Bluette, who are with us tonight, Bert and Linda Crandall, Tom and Barbara Matthews, Greg and Michelle Pascal, Bob and Michelle Stevens, and Greg and Betty Ryberg. Please give it up for all of our donors and our sponsors. Thank you very much for your support. But your community does not end here. I want you to look around for a moment, and if you're an academic partner, a school official, a guidance counselor, a teacher on staff with one of the public school systems or the school system that you're a part of, please raise your hand and let us recognize you. Great partners with the school system. Say hello to them. I'm going to sound like a sales guy right now because I'm going to say, but wait, we're not done. The community still carries on. The 3 or 4 people I'm getting ready to mention to you now are a part of your community, but you don't even realize it yet. But whether it's in 4 years that you come home, or 6 years, or 23 years from now you come home, there's going to be other people who are a part of that community who are going to be very important to you. I want to introduce you to Jim Lorraine, a United States Air Force veteran, and Miss Cherie Pham from America Warriors Partner. Jim and Cherie, I'm glad you're here with us this evening. Give it up for them. Jim is the president and CEO of the America Warriors Partnership. Jim and his team are doing incredible things throughout the nation, helping military service members transition back into their home communities. Miss Ann Campbell, who brought Saratoga Warhorse program to Aiken. Saratoga Warhorse has supported over 1,000 veterans transitioning back from home, those who deal with post-traumatic stress or those who are having trouble with transitioning back home. Ann Campbell, her guest Ralph Turnquist is with us tonight. Now, you can't be a vet in this community without knowing this guy. Dwight Branham, a U.S. Army veteran, the director of the Aiken County Veterans Affairs, and his wife Heather. Give it up for Dwight and his wife Heather. So you enlistees tonight, I just kind of bookend the people who, all of us are here, just to, man, say thank you and salute you. But you got people who are immediately in your AO, and you got people who are 4, 6, 20 years out who are ready to be a part of your community to help you. There's one other person I'd like to introduce you tonight, and I'd like to do that through a bit of military bantery or rivalry. That means, and for you enlistees, your young enlistees, that means it's when one service member kind of pokes fun at another service member or their branch of service. So for you Air Force enlistees, you're gonna have to kind of get used to that because there's kind of a lot of Air Force jokes out there. But what I mean by that is every time there's an Air Force joke by a guy like me or somebody else, it's usually because of the amount of jealousy that we have towards the Air Force, the jealousy we actually have towards you. You guys have got crazy dorm rooms, while the rest of us are kind of like in dirt or barracks. You guys got unbelievable equipment, and you guys get to have this long hair, and the rest of us don't have that kind of stuff. So this is how I'm going to introduce this last person. Here's the question I have for you. So all of your soldiers, your sailors, and your airmen, how do you know when you're in the presence of a U.S. Marine? Because they're going to tell you every single time. So enlistees, I just want you to do a little bit of just a trick tonight, or a survey or poll tonight. When we're mingling a little bit, listen to the other enlistees when they walk up into each other. So an enlistee might walk up to another enlistee and say, "So, what branch of service did you enlist in?" You might say the Army and the Navy. But don't ask them what they served in or what they signed up for, because they're going to tell you, well, I joined the Corps. It's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to tell you, I joined the Corps. So, without further ado, let me introduce myself. I am Robert Murphy, and I'm a U.S. Marine. And more importantly, I am the MC for this wonderful event this evening. So before we start our national anthem, I'd like you to please just silence your mobile devices. There's a lot of excitement. I know we're going to want to FaceTime each other, but let's silence our mobile devices. And let's please respect the University of South Carolina Aiken COVID policies in regards to when we leave our tables or leave this area. Let's go ahead and put our mask on, please. Finally, you have a program at your table which outlines our service that we have from this evening, and all the people who will be speaking, those up on the screen and those who will be before you this evening, their biographies are in the program that you have before you, so please draw your attention to that. So please stand for our national anthem and the presentations of colors, which include all of the service flags from the armed services branches presented by South Aiken High School, Go Buccaneers, Junior ROTC, under the leadership of United States Marine Corps Colonel Claude Davis. Please stand. Present the colors. Color Sergeant, retire the colors. Please be seated. Just want to welcome you to the 2021 Our Community Salutes Midland, South Carolina Gala. Our guests with us through live stream, I just want to welcome you. I'd love to have you take full part of our event that we have tonight. We've got great camera angles, and you should be able to experience everything minus the dinner that all of our guests here will be able to experience. So I'm glad you're tuning in through the live stream. Dr. Kent Hartman is the founder of the president of Our Community Salutes, and we are honored to have him with us this evening. Our Community Salutes is a national nonprofit organization helping communities recognize and support high school seniors who plan to enlist in the United States Armed Forces after graduation by providing parents and guardians of enlistees with community support and their son or daughter's transition into the military service. It's exactly what we are doing here this evening. Ken, would you please join me on stage? Dr. Harmon served as the president of Drexel University Online, has served on several boards, including the Board of Education of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He's the executive board member of Online Learning Consortium. He is a presenter at industry conferences, a syndicated newspaper columnist, a talk show host, and a commissioned officer in the United States Army. Well done. Dr. Harmon holds a degree from the State University of New York, Geneseo, upstate New York, wonderful, Michigan State University, and a PhD from the University of Pennsylvania. Dr. Hartman, please talk to us this evening. Give it up for Dr. Hartman, please.
Wow. Good evening, everyone, and greetings from Philadelphia. I am so thrilled to be here, and I want to make sure that I give a special shout out to Tom and Matthews and his entire planning team that put this together. So can we just once again give a big shout out to all those people involved in this? Thank you. What a great. So a lot of people are going to talk to you today, and a lot of great videos that you're going to see from people around the world that are going to talk to you. So let me just share a little bit about our community salutes and a little bit about the young men and women who are making the decision to enlist in our armed forces. So 2009, in a moment of weakness, I agreed to serve on our local school board in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, just outside Philadelphia, where I discovered that we were doing nothing to recognize the kids in our community who were graduating and who were enlisting directly in the military. As I said before, I was an old officer for ROTC 100 years ago, and those kids, and certainly the kids going off the academies, were being recognized in their moms and dads, but nobody in my community was doing that. So we held our first dinner in 2009 for all the kids in our county. It was a magical event. I think the Army did a story on us that year, and next thing you know, I got a call from a woman in Pittsburgh saying, hey, I heard what you did in South Jersey. Can you help us do something like that in Pittsburgh? And I said, well, sure, we've got the website. We'll just call you Our Community Salutes of Pittsburgh. And year two, we had 2 locations. And then more news got out about us, and we went from 2 locations to 10 locations to 20 locations to 30 locations to 40 locations and on across the country. So over the past 12 years, we've honored literally tens of thousands of high school seniors like you're seeing in here across the country. The 1% of all the kids in the country, only 150,000 of them, that make that decision to put their country before themselves. And for those seniors, if you could just please stand, I want to give you a round of applause, because it's just a senior stand. The enlistees stand for us. Okay, so while you can sit down, but I really would like to have your moms and dads and family members who are here today who supported your decision. Could you please stand so we can acknowledge you as well? Oh, that's great. Thank you very much. So let me tell you something about your kids. The fact of the matter is that less than 1/3 of all high school kids today can even qualify to make the decision that your son or daughter made. Less than 1/3. And as mentioned before, I'm an old university president, or I like to refer to myself as a recovering university president. And I can tell you, 75% of all the colleges in America accept 75% or more of their applicant. So when you get outside the Ivy League institutions, you're talking about your son or daughter going into one of the most select institutions in America. And you should be proud of that, because that's a big, big decision. You also should know that 75% of the young men and women who go into the military, the 150,000 every year to do this, will only serve for 4 years. And the one thing that the privates will have in common with the generals is everybody's getting out, but most of them, 75%, will serve for 4 years. So my message to the seniors, and certainly the moms and dads, the planning process to make that successful transition, whether it's to a college or continuing your education, or whether it's to work, needs to begin as you're going in. And we've provided a lot of that information on our website at ocsusa.org, and you can go to that. This year has been a challenging year, as was last year with COVID. Last year, all of our ceremonies went down, including my own, so we rushed and we put together America Salutes 2020 to recognize the kids who were graduating last year, the 150,000, in a star-studded Hollywood-style broadcast. This year, of course, we came back with it. You'll see bits and pieces of it tonight on your screen, where America turned out celebrities and stars and senior officers and enlisted personnel to thank the class of 2021. If you missed the showing of America Salutes, you can catch our next showing, which is on May 30th. May 30th, go to the website, go to americasalutes.us, and you can find out how to watch it. And you'll see some of the excerpts here tonight, because we brought some of those clips from people around the country that said to say thank you to you, but you can also watch it on that. And while you're there, one special request I have of you, we created a virtual thank you card to the class of 21 high school enlistees. So if you go to americasalutes.us, you can sign the virtual thank you card. Our goal is to get 1 million Americans to sign that card so that everybody here knows that not only the people in this room supportive of their decision, but America and your fellow countrymen are supportive of that decision as well. And the last thing I'll say, because you've got lots of other people talking up here, is I want to make a request to the moms and dads. This event that you have tonight doesn't happen just by chance. As you know, there are a lot of people that donated their time and resources to make it happen. As your son or daughter it will be leaving and be shipping off, think about being a volunteer next year. This could be much bigger because COVID will be gone, thank goodness. And this could be twice, maybe 3 times the size, but it can't be done without volunteers like we have here tonight to join us. So if you're interested in volunteering, please see one of the organizers, or again, go to our website at ocsusa.org or americasalutes.us, and there's a place there you can sign up, put your name in there, and we'll get it to the folks here in Aikens. So again, congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much to the Planning Committee for making this happen today, and I wish you all the best of luck in your career. So thank you.
As the chaplain's making his way up to do prayer before dinner, Ken, I just want to brag on our community a little bit. If you look at our slides getting ready to come up, because of the generous donations of this community, we were able to give these beautiful lawn signs. One is being placed in every enlistee's front yard, and one is being placed at their high school as well. That's just to promote the idea that this community rallies around its military enlistees. What a wonderful gift to all of you. Thank you, Ken, for your work tonight. If I can have Deacon L. Mitusik come forward, please. He's going to pray for our meal. He's going to pray for our enlistees. And come up and offer us prayer, sir.
Let us pray. Dear God, we give you thanks as we are gathered here this evening to recognize the young women and men of the graduating class of 2021 who have answered your call to serve. Your Son, Jesus Christ, shows us and teaches us the value and righteous attributes to offer oneself in the service of others. We are truly grateful for these armed service enlistees as we acknowledge their dedication and are inspired by their humility to put the safety and security of so many before their own ambitions. God, we pray that you keep watch over these young women and men as they embark on their training and keep them safe from harm's way. We pray for their instructors, officers, and fellow service members. We pray that this country will always be thankful and supportive to all who serve in the armed forces. We pray in a special way for all members of the military who have fallen in the service of our nation, all who are suffering from ailments and wounds, and their families. God, we are thankful for the parents, family members, teachers, and friends who have supported these enlistees with their decision, all the members of our Community Salutes, Midland, South Carolina, and the sponsors for making this evening's event possible. Thank you for the food we are about to eat, the fellowship of each other's company, and the memories from this evening. And we ask all of this in Jesus' name, amen.
So as our staff begins to serve the meal here this evening, please go ahead and start serving our meal. I just want to ask you that during the meal, please draw your attention to the screens, where we're the two large screens where you're going to hear from a veteran who made the exact same decision that you made, all the way from California now to Aiken in 2015. She's going to be giving us a message this evening, as well as you're going to hear from a current service member from Ridge Springs, South Carolina, who enlisted in the military over a year ago. Accordingly, the commanding generals from each service is going to provide you a very personal message this evening. You'll see that on the screen. You're also going to hear from Clint Bruce, a Navy Special Warfare Officer, a Navy SEAL, who's a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy, a decorated athlete, and a seasoned entrepreneur. All of these people are proud of you and salute you for your decision to serve in our armed forces. Enjoy your meal. We'll be back in a little bit.
Congratulations on the start of your Navy journey. I am truly proud of each and every one of you. Today, only 0.5% of Americans are serving in active duty, but those of you who have chosen to serve are starting a time of adventure, education, and financial benefits that can only be found in the United States Navy. Growing up in Puerto Rico, I thought about all the opportunities the Navy had offered, and as an admiral today, I look back with amazement. Now it is your turn to reach your dreams. Congratulations and welcome to the Navy.
Greetings from Fort Knox, Kentucky. I'm Major General Kevin Vereen. I'm the Commanding General for the United States Army Recruiting Command. And I just want to talk to our future soldiers and welcome you all as you embark upon this incredible journey of serving as a soldier in the United States Army, one of the most diverse organizations in the world. I am proud to serve with each and every one of you, and I look forward to all the accomplishments that you will make in your Army career. Again, thank you for joining the best team, the United States Army. Welcome to our team, Army Strong. Hooah.
I'm Captain Richter Tipton, the commanding officer of the U.S. Coast Guard's Recruiting Command. I want to thank you for your decision to join the United States Armed Services. I know this last year hasn't been easy, but the resilience and dedication that you have demonstrated to get this far will be an asset to the Coast Guard and our great nation. I also want to thank your parents, teachers, and community members who have offered support along the way. Your mentors deserve my gratitude. By raising your hand and taking the oath, you have joined a long line of volunteers who are interdicting drugs at sea, saving lives, and protecting the waterways that are so important to America's economic prosperity. Congratulations to the class of 2021. I want to thank you for joining my Coast Guard family, and Semper Paratus.
Greetings. I am Major General Jason Bohm, the Commandant General of the Marine Corps Recruiting Command. I want to congratulate each of you on your enlistment in the armed forces. America still needs its heroes, young men and women like you, people willing to answer a call and to be part of something greater than themselves, to be dedicated to taking on tough tasks to defend those who can't defend themselves and preserve our and our family's way of life, to be men and women of honor who demonstrate moral and physical courage, warriors willing to sacrifice for the greater good. Thank you for choosing to serve our great nation. May God bless you all. Semper Fidelis.
Everyone wants to make a difference in the world, and you've each chosen a path where you can do exactly that. I'm Major General Ed Thomas, and I lead recruiting for the greatest air and space forces in the world. By choosing to be an airman or guardian, you have signed on for a life of purpose where you'll make your mark doing amazing things around the world with some of the best people you'll ever meet. And no matter which of our 200 career fields you join, all we need for you is to bring the best you've got. So on behalf of the United States Air Force and the United States Space Force, we look forward to seeing you on the flight line or on the launch pad. Semper Supra and aim high.
My name is Lance Corporal Jason Fallaw, and I'm getting ready to graduate from the University of South Carolina-Aiken with a degree in psychology. Like some of you, I went to Rich B. Mineta High School in Mineta, South Carolina. I joined the Marine Corps in August of 2018. Boot camp was a great experience. It'll be one of the easiest things you've ever done because everything would be so planned out, and one of the hardest, if not the hardest things, because of the relentlessness of it. I weirdly miss it sometimes. Since joining, my outlook on school has completely changed. I went to Coastal Carolina University for my first 2 years out of high school and didn't really take it seriously. My grades started to suffer as a result, and I felt it was time to finally listen to that voice in the back of my head and join the Marines. Since my return to college, my grades have skyrocketed, and I was even inducted into the Veterans Honor Society, all because of the discipline I picked up in my training. I will be attending grad school this fall while also enrolling in the ROTC program with the goal of becoming a commissioned officer. I was in your place almost 3 years ago. I made the same decision of enlisting, and I haven't looked back since. I've never been so motivated to pursue my career both academically and in the military. Congratulations on your enlistment. I support you and salute you. Thank you for your future service.
Hi, I am Michelle, a U.S. Army veteran and now an education major at the University of South Carolina-Aiken. I joined the Army later than most at the age of 25. It was a plan that I had refused to let go of. After boot camp at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, I was stationed in Hawaii on Schofield Barracks and spent 4 years in service. In 1 year from now, I plan to be starting my first year as an elementary school teacher. One thing I want new enlistees to know is to always have your battle buddies back and never leave them behind. The decision to join was the best decision of my life. It offered me so many experiences that I would not have had otherwise. Outside of my MOS, I learned communication skills, leadership tactics, and what it takes to work as an effective unit. Congratulations on your enlistment, and I support you and salute you on your bravery to serve this country.
Hey everybody, my name is Clint Bruce, and the only thing that could be better than sitting here visiting with you right now is actually being face to face and looking in the eyes of young men and women of conviction. T.E. Lawrence, we all know as Lawrence Arabia once said, an opinion can be argued with, but a conviction is best shot. Because conviction produces action, and only action changes the world. And I know a little bit about something that you decided to do. I played football at the Naval Academy. I served in the special operations community. And now as I get older and grayer, one of the highlights of my days is being able to look into the eyes of young women who are better, faster, smarter, and stronger than we are to continue this thing called the human experiment that is America. I mean, that's what it is. It's this ongoing, perpetual experiment that is safeguarded by men and women who are willing to take their place on the wall and do these amazing things. I'm so proud of you. One of the things I wanted to share with you, I just had this conversation with some young men and women. I said, listen, life will always be great if you run at the hard things. Because the truth of the matter is you can't escape hard. And when you run at the hard things, you're dictating the terms of your conflict, of your meeting, of the competition. When you run from hard, all you're doing is letting hard catch you from behind. And you've chosen to do the harder thing. And you'll be blessed by it, and our nation will be blessed by it. And I'm so excited to be able to encourage you in this. People that are willing to run at the hard things. Not different, not better, but different. So I'm so proud of you. I wish I could be there with you. And I'll leave you with this. Hold fast. Stay true. We're so excited to see all the great things you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep enjoying your dinner. I just want to draw your attention. There's coffee on the sides over there. There's dessert on your table. We're going to turn up the house lights. We're going to do, this would be a great time to use facilities. We're going to take about a 10 or 12 minute intermission before we start the show again, but please, no rush. Continue to eat, grab some coffee, enjoy your dessert. Clint Romachet is going around to get pictures taken with you. So we'll turn the house lights up. It's a good time for an intermission. We'll be back in a bit.
We're excited to watch what you do. So my name is Clint Bruce. I'm already so proud of you. The only thing that could be better for me is if I was there with you, but I'm not. But I'm excited to see what you do. So hold fast, stay true. Thanks for letting us realize that we need to be with you.
Go ahead and charge up your coffee cups, enjoy that dessert. Go ahead and start taking your seats again. We're going to start in just a couple minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please take your seats. Please start making your way back to your table.
I grew up in a tiny town in California, and I was always just so amazed at, my grandfather, especially Grandpa Smith, old World War II vet. And he was the one that always taught me little lessons in life. My dad was a Vietnam vet. He didn't talk a whole lot about Vietnam or what he'd experienced. But you could just see that sense of pride in everything he did, and reflecting back to his military experience with us boys. From the get, I just wanted to serve. I wanted to follow the tradition of my family and just do my part to give back to this great country. Dad told me, look, right now our nation's at peace. We're not really doing a whole lot in the world, but there will come a day. It's like, it might not be tomorrow and it might not be in 20 years. But if you sign to go into the military, know that that day might come that you'll have to go serve. And you'll experience and see things that you'll never forget.
Throughout history, the question has often been asked, why? Why do those in uniform take such extraordinary risks? And what compels them to such courage?
The Medal of Honor is not often given when things went well on a battlefield. It tends to come at a price, and heroes are often revealed. Some say I'm a hero, but it doesn't make sense because I got to come home. 8 of my brothers fought to survive for a place we had called home. And more importantly, they fought for their comrades. And in the end, they gave their lives in that defense. They are the real heroes here today. I'll wear it with dignity and humility in their honor. I vow to respect their memories and carry each of them in my heart for the rest of my life. But you can't go into a fight thinking, I might not come out of this. You got to go there without doubt in your heart. Just know that you're going to give it everything you got. When you got teamwork driving the fight, you're unbeatable. No matter what the odds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored and I am humbled to be with you this evening to ask you to join me to stand up and welcome one of 67 living Medal of Honor recipients, Staff Sergeant Clint Romachet.
Thank you. Please take a seat. What a special night this is. I'll warn you right now, I never really write down what I'm about to say. I don't know what I'm going to say, which it's at times I think can make people nervous. Like to just kind of feel out the crowd, what's going on. And I can tell you this, tonight is such a special night. What our kids are doing, the journey they're about to embark on, is something so very few Americans can ever say they've done. It's 2001, 20 years ago. 9/11 happened. 20 years ago. And these men and women that are sitting in the crowd tonight have known nothing but war their entire lives, and yet they're still raising that right hand, still volunteering to go and do. I'd like to share my experience of being a high school kid in that small town in Northern California where I grew up, where I can forever brag being the number 14 graduate of the 15 kids that were in that senior class in that tiny little town of Northern California. You know, when I graduated, I knew I wanted to join the military. I didn't know why. You know, military service was something that ran in my family, but it was also something that wasn't a requirement. My grandfather, my dad, both my older brothers, they'd all served. But it was never pushed upon us to put on the uniform. It was always kind of pushed upon us to go give something back to our country in one way or another. But of course, like I said, me being a 17-year-old kid in Northern California that grew up milking cows and digging fence posts, who early on in life thought I was going to be a paleontologist, and I realized I couldn't even spell that word, so that was kind of out the window. Like I said, I just wanted to serve. And as I said in the video, I said I graduated at 17 years old, not because I was super smart, it's because my birthday's in August. My senior graduation present from my parents was luggage, so the writing on the wall was pretty clear that after graduation I needed to go and get out of the house and move on. But of course, like I said, I wanted to join, so the Army was the thing I wanted to do. I went to my father as a 17-year-old kid, the youngest of 3 boys, and told my dad, hey, I've talked to the recruiter. The contract's already drawn up. As soon as I graduate, I can ship off and be in the service. But at 17, Dad, I need you to sign for me. And Dad very simply looked at me and he said, Clint, you know, it's 1999. There's not a lot going on in the world right now. Maybe not tomorrow and maybe not in 20 years, but if you ever put, you know, if you go put that uniform on, you might have to go and do and see things no person should ever have to go and do and see. My dad did 2 tours to Vietnam. He never talked about his time in Vietnam, his time in combat. Grandpa never talked about him landing on Normandy Beach as a combat engineer or the Battle of the Bulge. All of their military stories, though, were about their brothers and the good times they had and kind of the funny little things that happened. So growing up, that was my mentality of what service was. You get to go travel the world, you get to meet some great friends. But I didn't really realize what my dad was telling me when he said, you'll have to go and do and see those things that no person should ever have to go and do and see. I honestly thought, being the youngest of 3 boys, he just wanted free labor for one more summer. Like a lot of you guys, I think will soon find out, you're going to end up joining the military for one thing, whether it's to travel, to see the world, to get some experience, because the recruiters showed you some really awesome video where the scouts are driving around on motorcycles and jumping hills and stuff. What you guys will soon see, though, like so many that have joined, is you end up serving for another reason. You will go experience things with your brothers and sisters wearing that same uniform, and we'll build a bond like no other. You'll sit back and you'll look at your time and you'll have friends, lifetime friends that have became family, that still to this day said, I've been out for almost 10 years and I still got battle buddies that I can call. And we'll drive, we'll fly all the way up to Minot, North Dakota, just to come see me in a time of need. You're embarking on a journey, like I said, that so few will ever get the experience. And you've decided to take that choice. That is something truly special that you will forever have the bragging rights that so many of your peers that you went to school with will never have. To the moms, the dads, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, grandparents, service to country is not an individual effort. It is a family business. When your child goes, they're not serving alone. They're serving with you. I think back to my time in my military, and those letters going back and forth between me and my dad and my grandmother, and always knowing I had that family support there. That it wasn't just an individual effort. Your kids are signing a check and they're leaving the pay portion blank right now. And that's a scary thing, because they are giving up so much of what you've instilled in them to do something more. What more noble cause can you ask of your child than that? You guys will soon see that you think about time in the military as this either awesome adventure, this scary time of the unknown, the individual challenge and overcoming. I can tell you that the one most important thing I ever learned about my time in military service, out of all the things I'd ever done, was how much you can love your fellow brothers and sisters. As a 17-year-old kid joining the military, I never even would have thought of that concept. You men and women that will soon be shipping off soon, I'm telling you, you guys are about to experience something that will be so amazing in your life. Those bonds that you'll make, those silly, stupid stories that you'll forever swap back and forth with your battle buddies that might have sat in the same jail cell with you in a foreign country. Those ones that were there when your first kid was born, and the ones that'll be there for you after your time in uniform is done. Said it's a family business. You parents, you'll have new kids that you'll adopt. They'll come in the form of your child's battle buddies. When they're swapping their stories, when they're going through difficult times, you'll adopt so many more than you'll ever realize. Still to this day, when I go to Crystal, Minnesota, I will always have a plate of cheesy potatoes that Sergeant Eric Carter's mom, Mary, will always make for me. It's those special moments that you don't even realize until you look back and see. But it all starts with this first step. That's why this is one of the greatest countries in the world. You have so many choices leaving high school on what to do with your life. Possibilities are endless. And each and every one of you chose to raise that right hand and start this path of service to country, service to others, service above self. That's what makes this country so amazing, so great. That's why we have so many out there that hate what we stand for. It's events like this to show the next generation that when you go and sacrifice, it is not falling on deaf ears, it is not being ignored, it's not sending those to do things that others don't want to do. I can't tell you how proud I am to be in this room tonight. Said in 1999, on September 11th, when I first joined, never in a million years did I ever think I'd meet a Medal of Honor recipient. Those were the stories of legends, listening to guys like Sergeant York, hearing about those heroes that overcame just incredible odds in the face of the enemy. Said I thought I'd do 4 years and I'd get out if I didn't end up in Leavenworth or thrown in jail before then. And just like each and every one of you, I know in each and every one of your hearts that you guys have the potential that when you're faced with that challenge, you're going to have those battle buddies to your left and right. You're going to have that family back here in the States that is going to have your back no matter what. And it'll give you that opportunity when things go south, when they go sideways, when it looks impossible, you have the potential to stand up and overcome. And I'm telling you that because I was in your shoes. Never in a million years, like I said, did I ever think I'd meet a recipient of the Medal of Honor, let alone be one. And I can tell you when I put this little blue ribbon of silk around my neck, I might have got it selected to wear it, but this isn't mine. This is each and every one of ours. This medal represents what is great about this country, what is great about the American people. It is for those that have served, those that are still serving, and just like each and every one of you sitting out there tonight, those that are about to serve. I leave you with this, just one last thought. And if I could pass on just one piece of advice to the next generation of warriors, it's simply this: you're never alone. You will never be alone. No matter how dark things get, no matter how terrible the odds look, whether it's in a foxhole or, in the case of the Air Force, at a Ramada Inn, you will always have your family, your military family, your family, and those lifetime bonds of love that will never be defeated. Thank you so much for tonight, this evening. I wish you all the best. And go Army, beat Navy.
Brother, you're incredible. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That is a coin that Ken Hartman brought in from the National, I know it looks like we're holding hands, brother, but just worth it. The National Art Community Salute.
I know how you Marines get, so.
They created the Army to give us dance partners, brother, so. So this coin is from the National Art Community Salutes, and we just want to give you this coin because we are honored to be in your presence. Thank you. Absolutely. Do you remember when you got your first coin, where you were, who you got it from?
I do. I remember I was in Kosovo, and we had some two-star generals show up to give us a visit. And that was my first duty station. I was just there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks in, and of course we have this general show up, and he hands me a coin. And then the other guys that were in the platoon much longer than I was explained to me coins.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, I've got a two-star general. I'm going to get so many free drinks after this deployment.
I wasn't going to tell the enlistees what we do with the coins,
Okay.
but you just let the cat out of the bag. So I actually have one of my first coins with me. See where Clint was going with that if we happen to be out tonight drinking soda or something and he throws his coin out and I don't have my coin, I got to buy him a round. However, if I have my coin and he has his coin, the senior ranking coin wins the day. Now, you've got our community salute coin, but I have a core coin, so I think we know who's buying. So the original coin came from enlistees. The original coin came from a young lieutenant in World War I who was a crewman. And it was a tough time in World War I trying to figure out aviation at the time against the enemy. And he had a coin minted for his crews to try to build morale into the crew. And then he thought if I could give them something that's not a letter of recommendation or promotion, just something to motivate them, then I want to be able to give a coin. And we see that in today's military today. Senior military member will see somebody doing something and they'll just walk up and they'll just take a coin in the palm of their hand and just say thank you. So these enlistees today have a coin at their table, and I'd like to make it memorable for you. So please go ahead and everybody take a seat. And if you're a veteran or a service member, first let's start with this. All the enlistees, please stand up at your table. Now on that table, you have a coin that's been donated from the Aiken County Veterans Council. So I'd like to have a military member, a veteran, a service member, go to those tables right now, just get up and just go and stand next to one of those enlistees, please. So if you've served, just go partner up with one of them. And I want the veteran or the service member to take that coin from that table, and I want you to put it in your right hand. And like I did with Clint, I just want you to just look him in the eye, hand her the coin, and just say thank you for what you're doing. Go ahead and give them their first coin. So Clint, we got a couple more memorable events I want to do. And if you don't mind, I think we should allow these enlistees, I think we should do the oath of office for these enlistees. Are you good for that?
I am good for that.
So I'd like to have, again, all the enlistees stand. I'd like you to raise your right hand. If there's a recruiter in the room, this is a great time to get someone to enlist. And Staff Sergeant Romachet is going to enlist you into your service. Please listen and repeat after him.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulation and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
Congratulations. Young men and women, I will tell you that you are not going to find another battle buddy who has been sworn in by a Medal of Honor recipient. Congratulations. So Clint, I have one more thing I'd like to do. For all the enlistees, so you guys will get this, but I think Clint's a little young as well. So Clint, if I get hokey and I take the phone and do this, what am I doing? What am I?
You're doing that thing with the self and the...
It's called a selfie.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. It's called a selfie. But I wouldn't dare do it if we want you to be able to do that. But however, if we get a group of people together, is it still called a selfie?
No, I thought it was called a us-we.
Us-we or a groupie. However, Clint and I don't like groups. We don't go to battle with groups. We go to battle with teams. So if you don't mind, I'd like to get a little hokey and do Team Romachet right now. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get Michael St. John up on the stage. Every enlistee, grab your coin, grab your mask, and meet me down here. Get down here in like 3 seconds. Hustle up and move down. Clint and I are coming down, and we are going to do a Team Romachet right now on the floor. Come on down, Clint. Staff Sergeant Romachet, it's an honor to spend time with you this evening, and you've made a special memory for all of us, for the enlistees, the parents, their guardians, your families and friends, and I hope you at home are still listening and watching the excitement of what's happening in this crowd here this evening. We have one more special event or tradition that we like to do in the military, and that's when we play our service songs. So when your service song is played, whether you're enlisting into the military or you're a part of that military branch of service, I'd like you to stand when your song is played and be recognized. And for the vets and the service member who are currently serving, the words will be up. I ask you to sing loud and show these young enlisted members or these young enlistees how proud we are of our military service. So we are now, when your song is played, go ahead and please stand and sing that song. And ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause after each song has been done, please. Nice job. What an incredible ceremony. To all the service members in your local community, I personally want to thank you, salute you for your service, for your patriotism, and your commitment to protecting my family's freedom and the freedom of this great nation. We are committed to helping you and your parents make a successful transition into the military. Please, I've introduced to you an amazing community of supporters that you have. As Clint so eloquently stated, you are never alone. You just need to connect, and we will help you transition in and transition out. So, to all the enlistees here this evening, the centerpiece flags are yours to take home as a gift. Please take them with you. Also, you will find a copy of the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence on that table. That is your gift as well from this community to take home. And finally, for the enlistees, vets, I'm talking to you now. For the enlistees, there's a signed copy of Clint Romesha's book, The Red Platoon, The True Story of the Battle of Outpost Keating, is also a gift to you. You will find that book at the back of the tables as you leave here tonight. So for the enlistees, please stop, pick up that book. It's signed by Clint, and please read it. Tonight's ceremony would not have been possible without the generous supporters and the sponsors, the academic partners, the volunteers, and on behalf of our community salutes, Midland, South Carolina Board of Directors who are all in here this evening. We just want to thank you for being here tonight. Thank you all. Ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude our evening. I'd like you to stand as we play God Bless America as we move out. Please feel free to mingle, to talk, but this will conclude our evening tonight. This is not one of those songs that you need to stand at attention for. We save that for the national anthem, but this is a great rendition. Please stand and have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Spacious